So, welcome everybody to the defensio of Min Nguyen. Yeah? You are finally ready to defend your thesis. Title is Policy-Driven Dynamic HTTP Adaptive Streaming Player Environment. The advisors were Christian Timmer and Matthias Lux. And we have as examiners Thomas Zina, which is online. Hello, Thomas. And Klaus Schöffmann. What else? I'm Radu Prodan, the chair of the commission. You have half an hour first to present your thesis, so please try to be understandable and don't go over time. And then we go to the questions. From the audience first and then from the two examiners. Thomas, can you hear us? Is the audio okay?
I can hear you loud and clearly. My only question would be, shall I keep my webcam on, or is it better to turn it off now for?
We don't see you. We don't see you, so you can turn it off. You should turn it on when we have the questions.
Thanks for the clarification, Radu.
Thank you. So we have to seat some people. Please come here in front.
Okay. Just here.
So 2 seats. Last 2 seats. Then we are sold out. So Min, half an hour.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being here. And I hope you are doing well. Welcome to my dissertation defense. My PhD thesis is Policy-Driven Dynamic HTTP Adaptive Streaming Player Environment. And I would like to thank to my supervisors, Professor Timmer and Professor Matthias Lux. He's not here, unfortunately. And so my presentation today will include the motivation, an overview of HTTP adaptive streaming, some research questions that I addressed in my thesis, followed by the contribution and concluding remarks. So let's get started with the motivation section. Well, in the last decades, video streaming has been accounting for the majority of the internet traffic, and the first half of 2022 observes nearly 66% of the internet traffic coming from the video streaming applications. However, although the network bandwidth is improving significantly, the requirements of the content complexity, time, and quality of experience is also increasing, and optimizing one parameters will lead to degradation of one or two others. So the trade-off among the content complexity, time latency, and quality of experience is still necessary to be resolved. And HTTP adaptive streaming is one of the solutions for that. But what is exactly what is HTTP adaptive streaming? Well, in this technique, the server stores the videos and let me check.
Just a moment, Thomas. Please mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, thank you. So in this technique, the server will store the video, and it will, which is split into temporal segments, and each of these segments will be encoded into different quality versions here. And this version can have different visual quality, different bitrate, resolution, or even codecs. And then at the client side, the adaptive bitrate algorithm will select the suitable quality versions for each segment, and then the client will send HTTP GET request to download these segments. And also, it's kind of like common technology here, and we still see some research questions that need to be addressed. And here are the research questions in my thesis. Well, the first one is like how to provide a generic API schemes for HTTP adaptive streaming players that can reflect various customer needs, because different different users can have different requirements from each use case, and then we need to trade off the content, the quality, and the time for each use case. The second research question is how to improve the player performance with the support of new HTTP versions. Well, in this thesis, I will use HTTP 3 features, including the stream multiplexing, stream priority, and stream termination. The third question will be how to leverage the computational power of the client devices to improve the performance of the player. Well, recently the client's device computational power is increasing significantly, and we would like to investigate that the player can, if not, the player can improve the download segments by deep neural networks. And the last questions here is like how to utilize the player's information at the server side to improve the performance of HTTP adaptive streaming. Well, in each streaming session, there will be many types of the clients that the user is using, and those devices are connected with specific networks. So the server needs to provide suitable quality versions for specific devices. And now let's go to the contribution of my thesis. The first one is DOFP Plus that uses HTTP 3 features to leverage to improve the quality of some segments to answer the research question 2 in my thesis. Well, the motivation is like this. In each streaming session, there will be many quality gaps due to the throughput fluctuation. And what is quality gap? Well, a quality gap is a group of segments that in the buffer that have the same quality, and have a lower quality than two adjacent group of segments, and also they have lower quality than the previous group if this segment is the last segment in the buffer. And it is clearly understand that this quality gap will decrease the QoE of the user. And to address this issue, we will use the retransmission technique that is like replacing the low quality segments by the higher one. And for the HTTP versions, it provides some notable features that we can use in this work. The first one is stream multiplexing that allows us to send multiple requests at the same time to reduce the round trip time delay. And also, the second feature is stream priority that enables the client to download some segments faster than the others. And the last features here is the stream termination. These 6 features allow the clients to cancel downloading a specific segments. And before going to the details of DOFP Plus, I would like to answer the new question here is that is what should be the best retransmission order of the segments. And we analyze some scenarios here. The first scenario is that one in the buffer there are several quality gaps, and we can have a choice of improving one gap only. So in this result, we can see that the gap with the lower quality should be filled first to achieve higher QoE for the users. And the second scenario is that for one quality gap, there are several segments, and we just have enough resources to improve some segment in these gaps. So what should be upgraded first? Well, in these results, we can see the black line here is the QoE of the user, is estimated QoE. And we can see that the later plate segment should be upgraded before the others to get the higher QoE. And so now let's go to the detail of the DOFP Plus approach. The target here is like this ABI algorithm will find the best qualities of the segments in the buffer and also for the upcoming segment. And we formulate one objective function as shown in the slide here. It is an f function of the qualities of segments. And this function will be like a sum of two parameters. The first one is the average segment qualities, and the second one is video instability. The average segment qualities will improve the QoE, whereas the video instability decrease the QoE. So we have the weight alpha here in the formulas to trade off. And so the DOFP plus will select a set of quality of segments that maximize the value of f function under the following conditions. The first one is that the download time of these segments should be smaller than the available time until this segment is played out on the screen. And also the estimated buffer after downloading this segment should be higher than a predefined threshold, for example, 50% of the buffer size, to avoid the store event in the streaming. And the experimental results show that the DOFP Plus can download moderate amount of the data. It is less than some existing API algorithm by more than 10%, but it also higher than the others. But the main point here is that DOFP Plus can achieve higher QoE than the others. For example, for the TLS1 video, DOFP Plus can increase the QoE score to 3.35, which means it is an improvement from 4% to up to 29%. Compared to the existing API algorithms. So now is the second contribution that answers the research question 1 about a generic API scheme. We propose WISH, that is like user-centric bitrate adaptation for HTTP adaptive streaming. Our observation is as follows. Well, when we download a high bitrate segment, for example 4K segment, we will need more transfer data. That means we use higher data cost, and also we need more time to download the segments, and we call this as like higher buffer cost. However, we achieve higher quality. That means we can have less quality cost. So downloading one segment is kind of like calculating the total cost of data cost, buffer cost, and quality cost of the segments. And there clearly we would like to download one segment that has the lowest cost. For example, in this example, we will download the quality version 2 because it has the lowest, the smallest total cost. And the question is here, like, how can we calculate this cost? Well, for the throughput cost, it is a linearly increasing function of the bitrate divided by the estimated throughput. For the buffer cost, it should increase when the download time is increased, and or also the buffer level decreases. So in this world, we formulate the buffer cost as the download time of the current segment divided by the margin between the current buffer and a low threshold of the segment. So we try to reduce the store event. And the last cost is the quality cost. Well, it comprises two sub-penalties. The first one is the distortion quality. When a quality is lower than the highest bitrate quality that the server can provide, and also the instability quality. That is when this quality is different from the average quality of the recent segments. So the total cost here would be a weighted sum model of throughput cost, buffer cost, and quality cost with the weight alpha, beta, and gamma here, as you can see in the screen. And then the WISH will select the quality that has the lowest total cost. And a new question I need to solve here is like, what are the value for alpha, beta, and gamma? Well, to answer these questions, I will consider the total cost as a function of the bitrate, Ri here, and then the weights are determined by making the maximum bitrate and in the bitrate ladder on the lowest cost for a particular conditions when the throughput and the buffer is high, and also the recent segment that has the average quality should be also high. That means in this condition we will download the maximum bitrate in the buffer in the bitrate ladders, and we ran some experiments. And first we compare the width with the state-of-the-art approaches, and as you can see here in the figures with different video, we can see that which achieve the highest QoE score for all of the test sequence. And for more details, which QoE score can achieve from 3.5 to 3.7 score, whereas the other methods achieve less than 3.4. That means the QoE can be improved by more than 18%. And also, as I said, it is like user-centric API. That means we can configure this API algorithm so that the users can meet their need in the data usage. How we can vary the safe threshold C here, and you can see when we change the C values is decreasing here. And then we realize that the higher C that returns the lower gamma in the width. That means we provide less priority in the bit rate, and because of that we can have lower bit rate, less video instability, and also fewer switches, quality switches, and the storms. The third contributions in the thesis is to answer research question 4 about the advanced analytics option integrations. In this contribution, we provide CatLab. It is a device-aware bitrate ladder construction. The motivation is like in the streaming session, like Netflix or YouTube, there would be many types of the device watching the same content. And the traditional server utilize static bitrate ladder, neglecting the device type and also the viewer networks. And also at the client side, some API algorithms tend to select the highest bitrate in the bitrate ladder. That means it takes a risk of rebuffering, and also no recognizable improvement in the quality of the quality for the small devices like the phone or the iPad. Another thing is like in HTTP adaptive streaming, we have manifest files in the server that, such as an MPD file that holds the information of the quality versions that is available from the server. This MPD file will be sent to the client, so the client understand or they know that what are the available quality versions. So because of the previous motivation, we ask a question like, why don't we provide an MPD file for a specific device? And with the help of common media client data, CMCD, we can make it, we can realize this idea. And what is CMCD? Well, CMCD is a bunch of parameters that is defined or calculated in the client. For example, the measure, throughput, buffer length, and the talk bitrate. These parameters can be sent to the server to improve the performance of the streaming session. But the question here is, at the client side, how to determine the CMCD, and at the server, how how can the server use these CMCD parameters? And we will answer this question in the use case of the bitrate ladder construction. In this idea, we will provide two. We would like to propose two other metrics or parameters in the CMCD that are the device type and the screen width of the client. And we determine the CMCD parameter as follows. The top bitrate will be the average throughput of the recent downloading segments, and the device type would be either the mobile, the desktop, or the TV based on the device that the client is using. And the screen width the screen width represents the maximum resolution of the segments to be played at the client, and it varies based on the device type, based on the work from the Netflix. For example, the TV was like 4K as maximum, and the laptop would be like 1080p for maximum resolution. And our work can be applied for both video on demand scenario and live stream scenario. For the video on demand scenario, because the server already encoded the quality versions, so when the client sends the parameters, CMCD parameters like the top bitrate, device type, and the screen width, the server needs to send the MPD files for its clients, but it doesn't send all of the available quality versions. The MPD file just includes the segments, just includes the quality versions whose bitrate and the screen and the resolution is less than the CMCD parameters, so that each device can have their own MPD file. And in live streaming scenario, it is more complicated because the video is not is encoded real time with the streaming session. So we have 5 steps at the server side. The first one is collection. The server will collect all of the CMCD parameters from the client, and then the server will classify these parameters into 3 different groups: the TV, desktop, and the mobile. And then we use the k-means clustering to determine like the representative bitrate for each group of the device. And then we use this top bitrate in a bitrate ladder selection, and then the server can encode the video. And after we have this quality versions, it will be similar as the video on demand, that the server just needs to send the MPD file that includes the quality versions with lower bitrate and resolutions than the CMCD parameters of each device. Okay, so the experimental results show that our approach can improve the QoE by up to 2.7 times, especially for the mobile devices in the streaming session. And this one we consider the video on demand streaming. In the live streaming, when we can have like only TV, only desktop, or only mobile phones in one streaming session, or even like a mix of type of devices joining the same session here, we can still see the outperformance of the catalog, which can improve the QoE by up to 2.5 times. And not only just the QoE is improved, the catalog can also save the data usage. As you can see here, compared to the .js player only, our proposed methods catalog for all of the device type TV, desktop, and the mobile can download lower average bitrate. That means we save a lot of data for the networks. Last but not least, which is concluding remarks in my thesis. So in this thesis, I answered 4 research questions. The first one is how to provide the generic API algorithms for house players. And in these questions, I propose a weighted sum model, namely WISH, that trade off the throughput cost, buffer cost, and quality cost. WISH can boost the QoE by up to 17%, and it also decreased the data usage by 36%. The second question is how to improve the house performance with the support of HTTP versions. Well, I propose the DOP plus API algorithm that leverage the HTTP features, including the stream multiplexing, stream priority, and stream termination. DOP plus can improve the QoE by 33% while decreasing the number of stall by 86% and the stall duration by 92%. And in this work, we also recommend that we should retransmit the segments sequentially to achieve better the QoE for the streaming session. The third question is how to leverage the computational power of the client device to improve the players. Well, in this work, actually, I don't have time to present in the slides. Well, in this work, we propose two approaches. The first one is SR-API-NET, that is a lightweight DNN-based super resolution network. And also, we integrated this network in with SR-API algorithm. And our work this network can process the segments in real time with at least 24 frames per second. That is like enough for the current videos. And also our API algorithm, which can save 43% of the data usage, while improving the VMAP by 7%. And the last questions in this thesis is how to utilize the player's information at the server to improve the house performance. Well, we propose a CAD-LAT approach that leverage the CMCD information, and from our experiments, we see that the CAD-LAT can improve the QoE by 2.7 times, and CAD-LAT can also reduce the data usage by 71%. And here are some reviewed publications that I have in the time I did my PhD programs. And this conference paper and also journal paper are published in rank B and rank A journal or conference. Well, that's all for my presentations. Thank you for your attention, and then I'm happy to answer the questions. Thank you.
Thank you.